Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name is Jim. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. Once you've arrived at our webpage, you can find links where you can hear our podcasts. You can visit our Boomers General Store where you can buy all things Baby Boomers, including our famous Baby Boomer Tales coffee mug. There's a link to our Facebook page and a link where you can buy our book, Got a Job. Our unusual facts this week are about rabbits. Pet rabbits can live between 8 and 12 years. Rabbits can turn their ears 180 degrees. That way they can pinpoint the exact location of a sound. Rabbits have 360-degree vision. Baby rabbits are called kittens. I always thought they were called bunnies. Adult females are called does, and adult males are called bucks, like deer. Carrots aren't the best food for rabbits. Root vegetables aren't a natural part of their diet. Sorry, bugs. Last and not least, maybe it is least, last and least, rabbits eat their own poo. Don't let them lick you in the face. Rabbits in literature and culture, I'm going to give you a few of them here. Fiver and Bigwig in the book Watership Down. Briar Rabbit in Uncle Remus. Peter and Flopsy in Peter Rabbit. The White Rabbit and the March Hare in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. We have Peter Cottontail. We have Rabbit in Winnie the Pooh. We have Roger Rabbit in Who Censored Roger Rabbit. And later he was a movie star in the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We also have Uncle Wiggily. He made a game. Thumper in the movie Bambi. The Trix Rabbit. The Playboy Bunny. Blue Bunny Ice Cream. The Energizer Bunny. And the Nestle's Quick Rabbit. When I could drive at 16, I would go out with a bunch of friends. Either I was driving my station wagon. I kind of took over our family station wagon. The folks had bought another car, and that became my car. Well, about 4 or 5 of us boys, sometimes there's only 2 or 3 of us. I never went out by myself, but we would go out what we called spotlighting. And what that is you go out on some old country road somewhere and you spotlight out into the field and you can see these rabbits at night. Well, old Fletch down at his sporting goods store would give you 25 cents a rabbit. So we'd spotlight those rabbits and shoot and kill them, throw them in the car, take them to Fletch the next day, and he'd give you a quarter apiece. Sometimes you'd have 8 or 9, 10 rabbits. It was a very dangerous sport us boys played. Now, we all knew gun safety. We all took hunter safety and all were familiar with guns and hunting. And so I don't want you to get all bent out of shape by gun laws and all that stuff. It's really a political hot potato. I'm just telling you about some 15, 16, 17-year-old boys back in the day and what we did for fun. We didn't have Xbox and PlayStation, barely had TV. We made our own fun. And you know, if you could make $5 in a weekend, that is a lot of money. I had a .22 pistol. Now, .22 is not a very powerful gun, but it would kill a rabbit. I'm sorry I'm talking like this. I'm just talking about my experiences with rabbits. So don't turn it off. Don't touch that dial. Please, don't touch that dial. Is there a dial on the internet? I don't know. Don't touch that mouse. Later on, after my dad sold his grocery store, he raised rabbits for a year, got a bunch of baby bunnies and raised them. And one day, he invited my brothers and my sister and their mates and my wife and me up to the house, and Mom served us a rabbit dinner. Now, I don't think anyone enjoyed it. I don't think my mother cooked it correctly. It seemed kind of slimy to me. It would have been a lot better if they'd have put it over a spit out on the barbecue. But I choked down some of it, and I don't think Kim would touch it. And nobody even complimented my mom on a great dinner or anything like that. Next thing I know, Dad stopped raising rabbits. He started raising chickens. When I was 18 years old, I was in Denver, and this buddy and I were in downtown Denver, and we got this idea, so we decided to go up to the Playboy Club. It was in one of the very tall buildings downtown, and it was on the top floor, and somehow we just walked in that building and hit the top floor button, and it put us out right there. And I remember this beautiful, tall woman dressed like in a bathing suit with these bunny ears on walked up to us and said, "Boys, what are you doing here?" And at the same time, she took a telephone and said, "Security, I have 2 boys up here. Can you get them out of here?" Well, we took off like nobody's business. And somehow we made it back to the main ground floor and out the door without getting arrested or getting busted or getting escorted out or getting roughed up or anything. It was quite an exhilarating experience for an 18-year-old boy. We saw a bunny. We did. We saw a bunny. Our song of the week is White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. It was sung by songwriter and lead singer Grace Slick. This great song was released in 1967 on the album Surrealistic Pillow. Surrealistic Pillow. Say that 4 times. It trips out on Lewis Carroll's 1865 book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and is ranked number 478 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Times. In a lot of ways, this iconic song is an anthem of the culture of the 60s. And if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going to fall. When we were first married, we lived in a little house about 15 miles away from my hometown, in this little icebox town that was very close to the ski area up there. And I came across a rabbit hutch. I can't remember how I acquired it. I may have built it. I'm not positive. I cannot remember for the life of me. But it was a nice sturdy hutch made out of 2x4s and chicken wire. And we had it leaning up against the house in the backyard there. And I had 2 rabbits. One was a white rabbit, totally white, and we named him Thumper. And the other was kind of a very dark brown, not black, but very dark brown rabbit that we named Bosco. And Bosco and Thumper lived back there in that rabbit hutch that I either built or bought or traded for or something in that little icebox town up by the Continental Divide and north central Colorado Rocky Mountains. Now my dogs, I had Old Blue Dog and Chuckahawk. And Chuckahawk was 1/4 wolf. His daddy was a half a wolf. I've spoken about these dogs before. And Old Blue Dog was his mama. And she was the toughest dog I ever had or ever saw, really. But for some reason, Old Baloo always respected whatever I had. She did not try to get the rabbits or kill the rabbits or didn't even pay them much attention. Now she'd lay back there and kind of protect the rabbits that were in the hutch. And old Chuckahawk, he would just do what his mama told him to do. Well, those dogs always liked to ride with me wherever I went. And one day we went for a ride. I'm not sure where we went or anything, but when we came home, that hutch was just torn totally apart. And Thumper and Bosco were gone. Neighbors said they saw a big old white, like a Great Pyrenees or something. Great big old white dog sniffing around our backyard. Now, I don't know if it was that dog. I mean, it had to take something to tear that rabbit hutch apart because it was pretty solid. But the rabbits were exposed, and I guess if somebody or something wanted them bad enough, they could have got them. I imagine that they didn't get away, that they probably were killed. I never found any fur or anything like that, but they're just gone. I took that old torn up hutch to the dump. Never had owned another rabbit to this day. I was 27 back then, and I'm 74 today. What is that, 47 years now I have been rabbitless. I always kind of wondered what happened to them, and I didn't even know anybody with a big white dog like that, but there were a lot of dogs around back in that day. There weren't leash laws or any of that. Dogs just roamed around. That was okay with me because I did not believe in leashing my dogs whatsoever. Now, they stuck around home pretty good. Unless there was a female in heat, old Chuck could go off, think he was Romeo or something for a while. We have rabbits around here, but they're wild rabbits. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't kill things anymore just to kill them. And I don't kill them for a quarter either. But the rabbits, since my dog Maxie is gone, are starting to take over. And if you know anything about wild rabbits, they can be quite damaging. They can eat all the bark off of your tree and kill the tree, actually. All the bark, ring it. That will expose a tree to all kinds of bad things and it will die. They'll eat the wife's flowers, eat the bushes. They're very, very damaging critters. And we're getting them more and more around here, and I'm starting to wonder what I should do before I start seeing the effects of the damage they do. I could trap them, but I'm not one to trap something and take it 3 miles away and let it go. I think that's silly. They'd probably come home anyway. If I was going to trap something, it'd probably be a squirrel. There's as many squirrels as there are rabbits around here. And even though a squirrel can be damaging, it's usually to your house, and I watch that pretty closely. So I don't know what to do with the rabbits. We've had one little bunny. I've watched him grow up. He lives over here on the porch somewhere, and he hops by my office window several times a day. And every day he looks a little bigger. A wild rabbit can have 6 litters a year. If you times that by 5 or 6 baby bunnies or kittens, you could have a rabbit population boom. I wish the coyotes would come and get them. The coyotes and I have quite the peace treaty going on, but I haven't seen any coyotes in quite a spell. I'd welcome a coyote around here. They've never hurt me or mine at all. If they would just get those rabbits. Well, I don't know what to say about that. I could tell you about times I killed rabbits accidentally out here. I've run over rabbits with the mowers before. It's just part of living out in the country. It's survival of the fittest. But their nests for bunnies can be right in the tall grass, and you won't even see them until you hit them. I think a rabbit is a very beautiful animal. It's amazing how they can sit so still, and their eyes are not pointed forward really. They're at the side of their head. They are just trying to survive like the rest of us. I know that isn't easy. If you're a rabbit or if you're a person, survival is a high priority and takes a lot of concentration and quite a bit of willpower. Now you might think, we just take survival as a given, but that's not true. Just ask your ancestors. It may be easier to survive today than it was several hundred years ago, and that's okay. I think that's a testament to how far man's come. But have we really? It seems to me that this is a dangerous world, even if you're not a rabbit. So I'll just watch that bunny hopping across my porch. I'll go out to the backyard and stare down a rabbit that won't move a muscle for 5 or 10 minutes. It senses that maybe something's out there, and that something would be me. I guess when I think of rabbits, I'd just as soon think of Bugs or Roger, or that rabbit going down the rabbit hole and old Alice following him into a place that you just get tripped out. I don't know. I do know that living out here in the country, I see all kinds of things that blesses my heart. And even though watching a rabbit will bless my heart, I know deep down inside that they're just like little kids. You can't let them off on their own devices or they'll get themselves in trouble. Always be kind to everything and everyone you encounter. You'll be glad you were. I'll be back next Wednesday. I really appreciate you riding along with me today. Don't feel sorry for rabbits, but love and respect everything God has created and understand our place in this old world. Peace out.